So here's just an example of AMD. Let me clean the chart up. Make sure you guys watch the other video, which shows how I draw my levels and stuff. But here is another textbook rally, base rally level right here. So you get the rally, you get the base, you get the rally. So the imbalance would reside right here in this doji candle right here, right? So what I mean when I say how the institutions want to get their orders filled sooner rather than later, you can see what happens a day after it forms this imbalance right here, right? It forms a level of demand right here. And then look at how soon price comes to test it. You know, it comes back literally the next trading session, right? It forms this engulfing, and then it comes back to fill it, makes a higher low, and then it takes off. Look at that. It forms the imbalance, right? Rally base rally with the engulfing. It gaps up, but then it gap and craps, and it pulls down right into the imbalance right here at the body of the doji candle right here. Comes back, tests it, and then it takes off. So, oh yeah, here's another example right here. We formed supply because we gapped down on AMD, and then upon the gap down, right, we opened right here. Here's the opening, right? We gapped down, and then there was a relief rally back into this level of supply because we had gapped down below Friday's opening candle, which actually turns this level into supply. So there was so much supply there to actually get price down. So the open of this candle is supply, and then it gapped below it, relief rally, and then it faded. This is supply because think about it, we gapped down, right? So this in latent terms would actually simply look like this if I have turned on extended hours, right? Because we gapped it down, obviously. So this is no different. So this gap down right here in price is literally no different than me if I were to just simply draw like a bearish engulfing candle. Sorry, yeah, bearish. Yeah, so let's just call this like a bearish engulfing candle. You know, it's no different. So I would simply draw it at the open again. I'll draw it at the open, right? Because we gap down, and then we get the retracement back into the level of supply, and then boom, and then the fade almost to the tick. Had AMD gapped over Friday's open, if it gapped above 8150, well then this level would not be supply. It would probably turn into support, and then we would. So let's just say that we did gap up. We likely would have rallied up. We would have likely rallied up, tested it, and came back up. That's why the opening bid is very important sometimes, because it can actually dictate the same day's move. So a ticker that I was watching today was Space. Kind of ticked off because I had some further dated call options. So congratulations if you caught that move. I was a little impatient, but I guess it is what it is. On to the next one. But yeah, you see Space hit this drop base rally buy zone right here. But look what happened off of today's action, though, right? We formed this imbalance right here. All right, so let's just say that Space does gap down tomorrow. I'll actually be looking, so I'll post this in public Twitter. But this actually formed an imbalance today, right? Because this is technically a valid for an imbalance, right? Because it took out a high here. So this actually turns into demand, right? This actually turns into buyers. This turns into a buy zone. And if you guys remember what I said earlier about how banks and institutions, how they like to get their orders filled sooner rather than later, if we were to gap down into demand, I would actually be looking for a long entry with a stop loss below the wick lows right here. So that'd be my stop loss, right? Because technically, when you see this imbalance, there's a high % chance that it's forming a new impulse. So this actually turns into a wave one. And then if I were to just guess, just based on a quick analysis, I would imagine that you get probably some sort of rejection. You get the A, and then you get some sort of pull down here, and then this opens up the door to a new impulse of a wave 2 here, and then I would expect higher prices only if we hold this low right here. So taking into account what I just taught you guys and just explained about how to identify strong levels. Strong imbalance equal levels that get retraced or relief rallied into in a short rather than long period of time. So again, if they do gap it down into this imbalance here, I will be looking to get long with a stop loss below 14.8, which actually turns into a nice risk to reward trade. So again, guys, pivots are really important. I mean, so for example, space today, you see you get this rally base drop. I'm sure I can go into some smaller time frame, but let's just use this doji here, and then you get the little pullback. But again, strong levels will be ones that get retraced into sooner rather than later. The longer a level takes to work, the longer a level takes to get retraced into, odds are it's not going to be as powerful as a zone that gets retraced into in a shorter period of time. I mean, here's a prime example, right? So this, sure, you can call this a level of demand, but based on candle structure, but the easiest part of supply and demand is drawing the levels, right? The hard part is to identify what's strong, what's weak. So I mean, look at this. The level was literally ignored. The level was basically ignored. I mean, look, sure, it caused some chopping up and down action right here, but look at how long it took to retrace back into the level. Right? It took, from this time to here. It took July 15th, and then it took almost a month, to retrace back into it. And here's an example of a level that did in fact work. But I mean, look at how far we are extended from the lows up here. This level worked as well because you see it. So we got this pop. Why? Because it was retraced into in a short period of time. The imbalance formed. Price came. Right. We got the demand zone forms. It retraced into, and it still. You still get a 23 to, you still get almost like a $3 pop from here. So that's why this level did in fact react. So time is very, very, very important. You need to just think about it in simpler terms, right? So if we can identify structures on the chart, which I call imbalances in the market, you need to put yourself in the big money's shoes and ask yourself, are you going to wait months or years to fill the remainder of your orders, or are you going to be wanting to get it filled as soon as possible? Which is sort of what I teach and preach, because it's very important. I mean, here's another level that got retraced into. I mean, it took 3 sessions. Look at this. Let me clean up my chart. Drawings. See, so here's another, right? Drop base rally. So here's another level of demand right here. So the imbalance forms. Right, these are buyers. This is a valid level. Why? Because it took out a minor pivot high. Right, we made a higher high. This is also, strong levels also. Strong imbalances equal levels that take out highs, lows. So here we took out, this imbalance, this drop rally imbalance, this level right here took out this imbalance right here took out this. Sorry, it took out. Nope, wrong way. It took out this high. Right. This imbalance took out this high. So this one took out that high. So again, right, we get imbalance to form, right, in this drop base rally, imbalance forms, and then you get a retracement back into the imbalance, right? Because basically price took off too fast for them to fill their buy orders. So you get some sort of retracement back into the buy zone, and they catch everybody short. And then as they sell into levels of demand, you get smart money to pick it up, and then price takes off. And the key thing whenever these imbalances do form is we look at the most recent swing lows, because again, strong imbalances will form new impulses, and an impulse wave 2 cannot retrace more than 100% of wave 1. So it opens the door up to a potential bottom opportunity, right? Because again, it forms a possible new impulse, and then it retraces back into the origin, and it makes a higher low. Makes a higher low. And again, the thing I just talked to you guys about when I said that institutions and banks want to get their orders filled as soon as possible rather than waiting years or whatnot. Here's another valid demand zone, but you need to ask yourself, would you wait this long after price has already rallied so much to really fill your orders? I mean, look at this. Sure, that is demand right there, right? Sure, that is demand. I'm sure it caused some of these bearish rejection wicks and whatnot. But why would you want to wait to get filled at this point after price has already taken off from $16 all the way up to $27, right? So this is a low quality because it took, why? Because low quality, because it took too long to fill the imbalance. So in retrospect, let's say that we did form this imbalance, and then space actually formed the imbalance, right? We rallied, but let's say let's say 1 week later, it did retrace into here. Well, then it's safe to assume that this is going to be a strong level of demand because it took only 3 to 5 or up to a week or 5 trading sessions to fill this imbalance. So I'll make some more videos and stuff because I'm sure that it wasn't that easy of a topic to grasp right away. But like I just keep on repeating to myself, you need to just put yourself in smart money's shoes. And since we can identify levels that do in fact work and produce counter-trend moves in the market, now we need to add in the psychological aspect where we need to ask ourselves, hey, are we going to want to wait X amount of days to fill our orders or what? So that is my quick lesson on how to identify, I guess, quote unquote, powerful levels. Lastly, another thing about stronger levels, let me just add this before I end the video. Strong levels take out highs or lows. This is also pretty important as well. A strong level will take out highs or lows, or a stronger level. So I hope this helps. Again, I can keep on elaborating on this stuff because it's not something that I expect you to pick up on the first time you watch the video, but make sure that you do check out all my other ones because I do show how I draw my levels, and also just how I use wave theory in conjunction with supply and demand, because they are very powerful when used together. So have a great evening, and again, I hope this helps.